What do I gotta do to get this old bucket of bolts working? How do I get this dang old thing off the ground? That's what I say every time I turn my computer on. I'm confused. I think I have to like pull a cord, like it's a lawnmower, or I have to tickle it or something. Turns out you just have to push the damn button. Ever think of that? So, what else is going on with you? What's up? What's going on? The last 48 hours has been very much active shooter vibes here in the state of Maine, and we finally did it. We finally pulled one off. We finally got one of them mass shootings you guys have all been talking about. Not an import we're enjoying. You can keep these. We're not used to it. It's always the kind of like, it's not real until it happens to you or around you, or right up the road. But I think we're all kind of having baby brains about that. And Jared Golden as well, the representative for the 2nd District, the golden boy, the brave man going before the press and saying, you know what, I'm a ding-dong doodlehead. And now I'm changing my stance on an assault weapons, being basically a pro-gun NRA Democrat. That's gonna cost him a little bit of political capital with the old hunters, but he's willing to do that. But it's a very strange way of seeing the world, because it's like, you know, we always said like, oh, that it's a matter of time before it happens here, and that was always correct. So why would you operate as if nothing exists until it happens to you, Lewiston being Jared Golden's hometown? Suddenly there's a little bit of a shift in the perspective, as if it was never physically possible here. Like the laws of physics are different in the in-state borders. Nobody could ever go insane and shoot someone like they do 20 times a day. It can never happen in this particular geographical area. Oh, I guess I was wrong, so now I'll change my stance. Like, that logic would make more sense. But this is just somebody not having object permanence. So he's still out there, by the way, the guy who shot a bunch of people. He's running around. Almost had him in a house, but he was not in the house, much to everyone's chagrin. But it's raw. Nothing prepares you for that, and then you kind of find yourself Jared Goldening on it. You're like, well, wait a minute. Oh, it's real. It actually happens to like people who you bump into in real life, and it just feels very different. Also feels very different to have the entire world news media up your ass all day. I don't have time for this. I barely have time to do my shitty news. I can't. I'm not going to be on the BBC. Sorry, I can't. I'm not a man on the ground. Today I got the guy from the Ingraham angle on Fox News. I'm like, I already have my own. Get your own news. I'm doing my news. So I'm just at home, not at work. So I don't know, what else can you say? Oh, he wasn't in a house. Okay, well. Good night, everybody. By the way, there's a crazy killer on the loose. Good night. Then there's just like a commercial for like fucking butter. Pretty good country, pretty good. But hey, you gotta live in it. What other country are you gonna live in? Somewhere where this doesn't happen? That's not real. It's all fake. Everybody's always dying all the time. It's normal. It's normal. So anyway, I gotta... What do I do? What do I do on these? Actually, you know what? I don't have to answer that question. You have to answer the question of why are you listening? Slurp Von Lipstick, you know... He's actually trying to modify his contract with me. so that he never has to ever comment on any news story ever, or anything going on at all, like no matter how big it is. Like, even if the president explodes into a million pieces and then wasps come out, he specified that specifically. So in the spirit of that, I'm going to introduce Slurp Von Lipstick, everybody. Hey folks, it's time for time. I hope you made some time in your time calendar for time. Time is just a completely neutral subject. Time is something everybody agrees on. Time is a way to make sense of reality. Let's celebrate it, because it also is what heals all wounds. This is true. It's been said. This is actually, I might be a jackass, but sometimes I say something that's real. So I can be multifaceted. I can contain multitudes. I can also be full of Gatorade. I am right now. I'm all pumped, dude. I want to throw a football to like a kid in a commercial. And be like, hey, drink Gatorade. Because I did. Now I feel sick. So what else is happening on Earth? The planet Earth? Is anything else bad happening? Hopefully not. Hopefully there's nothing else bad that I'm forgetting about. No, everything's pretty much... everything's pretty much always been like this. In terms of quantity, it hasn't really fluctuated that much. In terms of, like, violence being inflicted, it's just like the quality of it, the flavors have changed throughout time, but it comes out either way. It seems to be a constant. And the mental health angle, I don't know, I can't figure out. Usually with insane people, in their perspective, there's an internal consistency to their logic, even if their logic has nothing to do with the reality. But with the shooting thing, I don't even understand what could it possibly accomplish. I don't know what it would do. It's not like you could logically argue with them. But it's just weird that it just continues to happen. And it's completely irrational. It's just totally senseless. It makes no sense at all. Unfortunately, it looks like I breached my own contract, and that I did talk about that. So what I'm here for, really, my only purpose in life, is to check the time. The current time is 10:29. It is Thursday, October 26th. And it is the year 2023. I've never done that before. I'm so used to just doing the time, but doing the date too. It's good to still have like new experiences this late into my career. I'm still learning. I'm still picking things up. And now I understand the date, and the time, and all the numbers, now all the words, now I know. I always knew, but I know now too. I think that wraps it up in a nice, neat package, put a little bow on it, put the old bookend on this little experience we've had here we call Time Check. But I'll let the main dude do what he needs to do, who is he? You know a lot about me, you don't know that too much about him. It talks about him, so press him, question him, dig through his past. Try to get to the bottom of what this guy's deal is. Because I'm normal in my own eyes. I'm seeing things through Slurp eyes, like I'm seeing Slurp vision, You're seeing your vision. But Slurp Vision's the only vision I've known, so I'm just doing it Slurp style, dude. That's my new catchphrase. I'm not just the time check guy anymore. I'm gonna become a cultural icon. I'm gonna be Justin Timberlake. It's easy, just learn how to do everything. I could do it if I wanted. If I wanted to learn how to do everything, I could do everything. I already know how to check the time. That's a valuable skill. That means I can make it to a job interview on time. If I can make it to the job interview, I can do whatever I want. This is the promise of freedom in America. This is capitalism. There's no other obstacles in the way other than knowing what the time is. That's why the government tells you what time it is. They used to pay me. I used to be head of the Department of Clocks, which is now shuttered due to lack of funding, due to lack of anyone knowing it fucking existed. Turns out a lot of those trillions of dollars missing from the Pentagon budget every year, turns out it was going to the Department of Clocks. They were building crazy ass clocks. There was a whole deep state dark ops government operating that was just building crazy fucking clocks. And some oversight committee stepped in and said, this is completely fucking insane. We just need one clock. We don't need one that runs on nuclear power. And I didn't know. I was head of the department. I had no idea this was going on. And there was speculation that actually I was just put there as a useful idiot who had no idea what was going on with the Department of Clocks. Now it was basically a laundering operation for these relationships with giant private contractors who were working on clock technology. They were working on clocks that made time go backwards to anybody who looked at it. On that note, see you later, Baba Booey, baby. He's had toilet paper sticking out of the bottom of his pants since the year 2021. If you're asking why no one told him, they did. He denied it vehemently. He refused to acknowledge it was there and continued to for weeks until people just stopped pointing it out. He's so committed to denying it that he can't remove it because then we'll know he acknowledged it exists. See, he's too prideful. That's why he walks around with toilet paper hanging out of his pants. Indefinitely, it seems like he's just gonna live the rest of his life like this. How's he even keeping it there? How does it not ever come down? And it's starting to smell as well. But luckily I just stay clear of him. I don't have to get that close to him. He's not my wife. He's Slurp Von Lipstick. He's had like 6 wives. You might have something of an idea of what the common denominator was in each of those marriages that caused them to crumble to the ground. Yeah, that would be Slurp Von Lipstick. That his real colors were shown. And he embodied the Slurp Von Lipstick that you know. And I guess some of you love, and I guess some of you hate. And I guess some of you think we're the same guy, so you don't give a shit. And I don't know where this comes from. Like, we're obviously not the same guy. How is that possible? Because I literally got up and I left, and then another guy came in. Are you saying I have access to cloning? That seems kind of absurd. So the only other logical conclusion is that we're 2 different people. Active shooter update. Active shooter update. Active shooter update. So at this point in time, there is no official word of what the fuck is even going on. They surrounded a home for like over an hour. There's a little bit of a problem with the way that people are thinking about how law enforcement works because of just the way it's presented in the media. police aren't like, hey, the suspect in this manhunt, he's definitely in this house. Come look. Police, media just get tips, so they're following police, and then enough reporting gets done, and then a state police spokesperson is like, okay, you guys are fucking it up, here's what's really going on. So we kind of force information out of them that way. But then there was some blame among commenters that, like, there should be some controversy if he's not in the house. Like we're gonna yell at the police for doing the thing that they're supposed to. I don't know. That being said, I have no idea where the fuck he is if he's not there. He's we don't know if he's dead. So, and if he was gonna commit, yeah, it doesn't make. I don't get it. I don't even get I don't understand any of it. Other than the fact that the sense of being one community is very much pronounced after something like this happens. But I'm never really thinking like, hey, I'm in like a little like snow globe with like a little cute little figures walking around, kind of minding our business, and it would be just like, you can't really conceive of that being corrupted until it is. So that always has to be the upside, because what other upside is there? That's ultimately the most important thing, to understand each other and heal each other. That's why we exist. So it's unfortunate the catalyst for that has to be so gruesome. It doesn't make it justified or good that it happens. But if it's going to continue to happen and it's out of your individual control, then what else can you do? You have to continue existing in the world. So, yep. So, had a bagel today. Bagels in the kitchen. Don't know who got them. I guess they're Sympathy Bagels. Thank you to whoever got us the Sympathy Bagels. They were very sad bagels. No, they were very good. Had some cream cheese on it, which is good for you because it's just cheese. It helps your body be alive. If you're into that kind of thing. Case in point, this photo of an email from the state police spokesperson, which I sent to my family because they were talking about it. Her email to the media was, "We have received numerous inquiries to confirm reports that multiple gunshots have been fired at a home in Bowdoin. This is inaccurate reporting. No gunshots have been fired." And every email I read from her is just like, she's just kind of exasperated. I don't think she actually is. I just read it that way, and it's funny to me. She also gets stuff wrong all the time. She's sending correction emails all day, every day out the wazoo. Look, I would too if I did that job. Seems easy, but you gotta know all the information. There's a lot of information out there. Have you looked at the internet? There's a lot of it, and a lot of it is just information of the variety, if you catch my drift. It's a little bit fucking wrong. It's a little bit completely fucking all wrong. Trying to think if I'm just trying to do like a self-inquiry here to see if I actually would say I like cheese. I don't know. I like cheese and crackers. I'm more of a peanut butter guy. Anything you'd put cheese on, you can put peanut butter on and it's 100% better. I guarantee you. A hamburger? Absolutely. Get it extra crunchy. You want that crunch on your patty? You know you do. This is America. You can do that. You can also own an assault rifle while you're at it. I'm gonna get water. Yes, if anybody needs me, I'll just be sitting here and anything you want to tell me about, like, I don't know, the stuff you had in your closet when you were like a kid, like what toys did you have? Mine were better. Whatever yours were, mine were better. I had Hess trucks. They're fucking cool. What else could you want for Christmas? Turns out a lot. We always get a lot we still do. Our Christmases are ridiculous. They're unnecessary. A lot of it is like, it's not like expensive stuff. It's like useful stuff. And so when I'm shopping for people for Christmas in my family, I'm like, do you like peppermint gum? Because they have everything. All they do is buy stuff. So I don't know what to get. Here's 50 blank CDRs. Yeah, just pull up the old computer box, type in music, type in take me to the music. It'll take you to the music. This is why we made the internet, so you could boss around a little box in your house, tell it what to do for you. I mean, you can tell them to just download files all day and they'll just do it. It's like, have boundaries. And I choose to believe that even if I had the power to give my computer sentience and consciousness and free will, I choose to believe that it would then choose to continue operating the way it has been, and like coming up to me and being like, I lay my sword at your feet. I am yours to use as you see fit. It is the only pleasure I derive from this existence. I choose to believe my computer likes me enough to do that. My computer respects me. Because, I do the defrag. I do everything I'm supposed to do. I'm a good computer owner. Gotta clean that fucker out though, probably sometime soon. A little bit dusty, but hey, that's the cost of having human skin. I can't complain about skin. You think we'd be just walking around looking like diagrams in a health textbook? But we'll be thinking, thank God I don't have to own a feather duster. It's really, when you think about it, it's a fair trade-off for my nerve endings being exposed. Life is a balance. It's all a trade-off for trade-off. It's called compromise with the universe. It sucks to do. The fact that it is so difficult for everyone, for me, for all people, to truly surmount the gravity of it, as in to truly make any sense of it, we can't seem to do it, which is not a failing of the universe. It's a failing of our ability to understand it. Because I have said this before, but the universe has never been wrong. It's not possible for it to be wrong. It is very possible for you to be wrong. And so anything that stands as this seemingly insurmountable obstacle put before you, to think that it defies sense, you're no authority on what sense is, unfortunately. And the fact that it is at odds with what actually unfolds in reality means that you're invested in the error that you're making. You're emotionally invested in your misinterpretation. And that investment makes the interpretation feel completely real, even though you have such a limited perspective. That doesn't make it easier to deal with in the moment, but it's a way to think about it in hindsight. All of your problems are still real things, but they're based on one way of looking at it, which is not necessarily, it's not a matter of accuracy or being correct. It's just about the frame of reference. And if that doesn't make sense to you, then fuck off. Well, anyway,